If you are a new author, whether you just published or published within the last 6 to 12 months, and if you haven't secured at least $100,000 leveraging your book, leveraging your story, I'm going to share in 10 minutes 5 resources that I have leveraged, that I have read, that if you read them, if you take advantage of them, they'll help you generate your first $100 to $250,000 in a 12-month calendar year. Let's get to it. So, my name is Kyle King. I am your host. I am a 7-time published author, CEO, and founder of The Writer's Game. And what I've learned over my journey working with thousands of authors is that we're not prepared. So, yes, we've created courses and programs and resources to be able to help aspiring and published authors, experienced professionals, all of these different people. But I wanted to give you something that I've researched, that I've read, that I believe if you read these 5 books that I'm getting ready to share with you today, it will exponentially transform your author journey, and you won't have to spend thousands of dollars during the process. So let's get to it. So the first book that I want to be able to share is The One Thing by Gary Keller. Absolutely first amazing book. But at the beginning of the book, the premise of it talks about if you were chasing 2 rabbits at the same time, and if you needed to catch one, if you were trying to chase 2 of them at the same time, you would not end up catching either one of them because your mind is scattered. There's a scripture that I love. It says that a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. Now, if you're a woman watching this, this wasn't sexist. And what I want you to understand, anybody watching this, if you're chasing this book and you're trying to build this business and you're trying to run this and you're trying to put this piece of content together, and now you're working on the next book, and now you have 7 speeches, all of these different things, I want you to slow down. I want you to focus on the one book that you've already published. Design one speech around that specific content in that specific book. And then we're going to talk about how to build an ascension model from that specific topic. Okay. I think that a lot of the mistakes that I've made earlier on in my journey as an entrepreneur is that I'm dropping this membership course, this subscription program, this high ticket program, this low ticket course. Then I'm having this going on, and then I'm going on a speaking tour. I want you to identify one thing from your one book and focus on that. Now, we're going to talk about in book 4 that I'm going to share with you today how to do that strategically. But I definitely recommend that you check out The One Thing by Gary Keller. It'll help you stay focused. It'll help you get extraordinary results. And if you identify that one thing that you're going to focus on for the rest of this calendar year in regards to this book and how it can help you leverage your skill set and your knowledge to be able to generate $100,000, I guarantee you'll be able to do it in no time. All right. Now, with anything, it leads me to the second book. I think that a lot of times it's like, all right, Kyle, you gave us the one thing, but I still have to focus on how am I going to do this? Like, what are the exact strategies? So that leads me to book number 2 is Who, Not How. This is hands down one of my favorite books, and I've recommended it to so many people. Who, Not How by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy. Absolutely phenomenal. And it talks about this concept between or of we're so focused in life about how we do things. How can I get a better job? How can I generate $100,000? How can I make more money from my book? How can I be better in a relationship? How can I do all of these different things rather than saying, who can help me in my circle? Who can help me in this community? Who can help me rather than how can I do it? Because what it talks about in the concept in the book is as you're a new author and just in general, wherever you are in your process, who is better than how, because it exponentially will transform and accelerate your results when you focus on identifying experts, identifying people that have already surpassed the place that you're trying to go, building quality relationships with those people. I'm just going to read this for you really quickly. By the CEO of AE Wealth Management, he says, Dan Sullivan is the ultimate coach for entrepreneurs. I've been learning from him for 20 years. Anyone who reads Who, Not How will know exactly how the best entrepreneurs create freedom. And if that's you, if you're an author that wants to be able to create freedom, if you're an author or an individual in general watching this video and you are tired of always having to learn the steps and the steps to do this and the steps to do that, I need you to develop a team of individuals around you and write down, this is what I want you to do. I want you to write down 3 things that you're struggling with. 3 areas of growth in your life. And then I want you to identify people that maybe are in your life or maybe that are not in your life that you can connect with, that can be able to give you an accelerated version of what you need to do to be able to move the needle forward in your life. All right. So I need you to focus on who can I connect with? Who can help me build this thing out? Who can help me become that specific person rather than how can I watch 100 YouTube videos or how can I read 100 books on marketing or sales? So who not how is book number 2. I need you to go get that. And the link is in the bio. All right. Number 3, this is one of my newest books that I've read. I read it within the last 2 to 3 weeks and highly recommend it. Love the author of the book. Had a chance to meet him in person. And it's an amazing book. And it's The Referable Speaker by Michael Port and Andrew Davis. And this book is absolutely phenomenal. Michael Port is a world-renowned speaker, actor. His wife, Amy Port, is, again, a speaker, an actor, and they've built this program and this company called Heroic Public Speaking. And what the premise of the company really is it helps experienced professionals and storytellers share their message, create a referable speech so that they could be able to transform lives around the world, right? So if you are an author, most likely your goal is to be able to transform lives of people, leveraging your story, leveraging your experience, leveraging the thing that you wrote about in your book, the concepts that you wrote about in your book. But it's not necessarily about a speaker website. It's not necessarily about a one pager or a marketing profile or all of these different things. It is believed, it is the belief in this book that if you create a referable speech, that will be the gateway for you to be able to get booked more, do more business, and be able to transform more people's lives. So it breaks down in the book concepts, strategies, and how you get to this point where you're getting referred to be able to speak at different organizations, conferences, schools, all of these different places around the world. So if you are desiring to take your message and be able to expand it, your message across the world, then that is definitely book number 3 that I would recommend. Now, with all of these different things, whether you've identified the one thing, you've identified your who's, and you're starting to build a speech, promoting a book is hard as hell. And we all know that. Promoting the book, the process, and all of these systems. One of the books that has transformed my knowledge, but also how I operate my business is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. This guy is literally a genius, and he's created a brainchild in this book. It's about 260 pages, but it is phenomenal. And the premise of this book is the underground playbook for creating a mass movement of people who will pay for your advice. Look, it's one thing to be able to write the book. It's another to make money from the book within the first 2 to 3 months from friends, family, and immediate contacts and colleagues. It's another thing to be able to create a massive movement around your book that allows you to create additional courses, products, offers, digital offerings, get booked to speaking engagements, consult with companies, develop high ticket programs, get booked to podcasts, go on radio, television, all of these different things to create a movement of people. Okay. And Russell Brunson's book, Expert Secrets, is the second book. .com Secrets is number 1. And then there's one other, I can't remember the name. This is a phenomenal book if you are an author, especially a new entrepreneur that needs to understand, okay, I have this book. I really want to be able to take this book and become a full-time entrepreneur with the content in this book. I want to train. I want to create courses. I want to do all of these different things, but I simply just don't know how to do it. This book will be able to walk you through literally a step-by-step playbook on how you build an ascension model. It's been able to give me so much information that's helped us years of doing business and be able to train other people on the insights that we've learned from this book. Now, number 5 is, and that's why I saved the best for last. In my opinion, it's my favorite book. It will really be able to teach you every single step once you've written the book, once you've published, once you've launched, once you've marketed, and then it gives you an ideology around this industry as a whole. And again, I'm biased, but it's my book, The Writer's Game, The Business Behind Your Story. And it's almost everything that you need. And I say almost because I don't want to ever say that it's every single thing that you need, because I've referenced other books that will be able to complement this book along your author journey. But the premise of this book is to teach you the overall business behind your story. I believe that everybody has the ability to become a wealthy storyteller. And what I mean by that is that whether you're making money or not making money right now in your process, wealth can be created, in my opinion, by two ways: the impact or also the income. And both essentially work together as a part of this process. The difference that you want to be able to make will increase the dollars that you're going to make. And once you increase the dollars that you're making as an author or as a business professional, it's going to ultimately increase the difference that you have the capacity to be able to create. In my book, I lay out every single step from writing, publishing, launching, marketing, and building a business behind your story. And I definitely recommend that you check that out. So look, we're going to run through these books one more time because I said 10 minutes and we're almost we actually are past our little limit. All right. So The One Thing by Gary Keller, you got to check this book out. Number 2 is Who Not How. Who Not How by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy. Number 3 is The Referable Speaker by Michael Ports and Andrew Davis. And then number 4 is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. And then number 5 is The Writer's Game, the business behind your story. Look, these are the books that are going to not just transform you as an author, but transform you as a business professional. So you need to check out these books. Click the link, click the subscribe link, like the video, leave a comment, and we will see you guys next video. Love you.